Yo, what's good? How's everybody doing today? Alright, today we're gonna make a little bit of food. Okay. Right now, I'm just gonna throw on some rice just so get that started. So when I do my fresh fried rice, they'll be nice and loose and cool by the time I get to it. In the rice, I'm gonna throw a little bit of, just to bring up sodium, so I don't have to season it too much at the end. Just a touch of chicken powder. Gonna hit it with a little bit of the black sesame. Boom. And just a touch of dark soy sauce. Just like that. Yeah. Okay, I'll let that do its thing. Pop a lid on. Wham. Alright, so today I'm gonna be making a little bit of dinner. I'm thinking, yeah, do a little bit of dinner, and I'm also going to do a dessert. So the dessert I'm thinking of is I'm going to use a little bit of puff pastry since I have a little bit of that left over. And let's see if I can change that so it's like not so full. There you go. Yeah, that'll match. Yeah, I'm going to do a little bit of puff pastry. So this is an idea on the puff pastry that I was doing the last couple days. My wife showed me this like kick-ass like folded puff pastry. It has like a chocolate bar down the center of it with like a graham cracker bear. I'm not going to do that necessarily, but it did get me thinking. I have a bunch of lindt chocolates left over from Christmas, and those are good for like a little while, and they're like the ball lindt chocolates. And what's awesome about that is that I think if I do the ball lindt chocolates in the bake and then fill it with a little bit of caramel, a little bit of hit of salt afterwards, I think that's going to be a really nice addition to the way I'm doing the dessert. So I'm going to get my chicken cleaned up and searing, and I think today I'm probably going to do like a char type based chicken dish. Slice it up, shred it, do like a roast over top of some nice fried rice. That's what I think the solution or the way it's going to go today. Yeah. I'm going to send out just a quick poll for you guys and see what kind of food you guys are into. I don't really know what everyone's into these days, so I'm just going to send a poll, and if you guys got any questions about food, please just ask in the message below. And if you get a chance, man, hit me up with some likes. It helps my algorithm, invites more people, so I get to meet more of y'all. Let's see here. Where do I do? There we go. Interact. Boom. Yeah. Start that. Yeah. So out there, I got a poll for the next 5 minutes. Please feel free to answer the poll if you guys got a chance. Again, today I'm going to be doing like a chicken dish over top of a bit of fried rice. Do it just gangster, super cheap, super easy. As well as I'm going to bake up a little bit of dessert. So for the dessert, while I'm doing the chicken, I'm actually going to preset the oven at 350. Boom. And we'll do it like that. Okay. So also when I cook, if y'all don't know about these, like 1 liter containers, these are a lifesaver. You get like literally like 40 or 50 1 liters for like $35, and they're reusable, they're disposable, all that stuff, and I live by them. Yeah. When I was in kitchens, you'd often hear like a lot of chefs or a lot of cooks, we don't have a lot of time in our day, so at the end of the day, we're going to be eating over top of a garbage can with our food in this. Just so we can just take it, eat it, throw it into the thing. We're not using up dishes and stuff like that. So I know a lot of chefs out there, mostly like, older dudes, they're like, that's classless. I don't care. Like, I don't have enough time. I'm a working chef some days, so Yeah. Again, guys, if you guys got questions, leave a message in the thing below. As well as I got a poll, see what kind of food you guys are all into. Right now I'm working with, today I'm going to be working with the chicken thighs, just because you guys got a good mixture of drums and the thigh meat. So these guys right here, super juicy. And these are, I like dark meat because it's also relatively cheap. Like, and what I'm doing here is I'm separating out the drums and the, what do you call it? The chicken backs. So I can save those for future stocks and or fried chicken. If y'all don't know what chicken backs are, it's the thigh meat and bone located right at the end here. There's if you actually feel through the skin and actually out the back, you'll feel that it's actually kind of loose, right? You'll see that there's a line there that disconnects that thigh. All you have to do is like put the knife in, cut it once, split it, cut it again right off. And what's awesome about it, yo, Arroscaldo, oh man, you know what? I'll actually do that for my next live. I think that's tight. Actually, I did Arroscaldo last video too. It was like a rice porridge, but I did it with a, mostly like bacon, and there was like a braised chicken that I left in it. I didn't do any of the charred, what do you call it? Charred garlic or anything like that. But I think for the next one, I definitely will, because I used like a crispy chili paste or a crispy chili oil that I thought was a really great addition with a hit of green onions. I thought that was really, really fire. Okay, yeah, so I'm just going to start breaking these guys down and start searing the chicken thigh parts in my pan. I have a little bit of oil in already. So once these are all broken down, I'm going to just go ahead and do that thing. God, I need to sharpen these knives. Jesus. Right? And the cool part about, the reason I'm saving these chicken backs is, again, a lot of people are like, oh, it's waste, it's this and it's that. In my opinion, and this might just be my opinion, I think noodles, hey, you can definitely do some noodles, yeah, for sure. What I'm looking at, or I'm thinking, is what I like about the chicken backs here is that, in my opinion, with how like chicken wings are, well, here's the situation, is that for anyone that's not in the know, I don't know if you guys have wing nights or anything like that where you are at the pubs that you're at. I've worked in the kitchen industry for 25 years now, and I grew up in like the bar scene early on, right? Because, you know, to get your feet wet, you don't go to like a fine dine restaurant right away unless that was like your targeted thing. Since I never went to culinary school, my buddy opened up a bar restaurant, and they had wing nights. And I remember the days where wing nights were like 5 cents, 10 cents a wing. Now they're close to like 35 cents, 50 cents, all that stuff, which is fine. But because of the wing nights becoming so like grossly popular, you know, you can get a 2 pounds, 3 pounds of wings for like less than $5 a pound, and that really just kills us in the back. So when that started happening in the last 20 years or so, the popularity of wings went up, as well as, like, you know, the things that we're doing with wings, and the amount of flavors that are available with wings, all that stuff. The price of wings actually went up, which is, to me, it's kind of crazy. And essentially the general public made wings a little bit more expensive, right, for us to produce and for us to put out. So it just became like a loss item that if you're not paying for like a deck at full price, we're not really making any money on it on a regular day. So because of that, I was like, there's got to be a way to make like the wing experience just as good, just as pleasurable, but still keep it cost effective. And my solution is chicken backs, right? Chicken backs aren't necessarily as meaty as a wing. They are, but they're more like a drumstick amount of meat, like the drum part of the wing, right? Whereas though, when you fry it and you hit it with that dredge, it is, in my opinion, the wing of the future, because it is for people who really love going to a fried chicken spot and they love skin. If you love chicken skin and you like wings at the same time, boom, that's a chicken back. 100%. Not a crazy amount of meat, but the skin amount on it, boom, crazy. Right? And I love that. I'm a huge, huge fan of that. Cool. So I got my thighs separated from the drums. Boom. All right. Thank you everyone that's actually joining. I appreciate it. Hit those likes for me too. I'd also really much appreciate it just because, you know, it helps people find this channel, all that stuff. Yes, absolutely, less tendons to deal with. Yeah, you know, it's 100% true. Because I'm not a huge fan of, like, what do you call it? Just doing regular ass wings. Like, I just don't dig it, right? Because to me, it's boring. At the same time, you still get the dark meat, but again, I'm a huge fan of chicken skin. When it comes to fried chicken, Korean, Southern, Japanese, any of that kind of fried chicken, I'm a huge fan of the skin. And I would say most people are. Like, most people love fried chicken skin, right? And at the end of the day, that's where it's at. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, dude. 100%. Skin, solid, bro. So I'm going to go ahead and start with my chicken thighs right now. Just get a small, slow sear as my rice is, starting to come up to a small simmer. I'm going to just put it down to low. Let that do its thing. You can smell the sesame oil on that. I'm probably going to finish it with a bit of green onions after I'm done frying it up. Sweet. Yeah. So, pork belly? Absolutely. Like, you know what? I can probably do a pork belly. Actually, I have a pork loin downstairs. Kat, how do you like your pork belly? Or how do you prefer to get, like, pork in general? Do you like it roasted? Like seared, sauteed, fried up? How do you like yours? Also, Johnny B, thank you very much, sir, for hitting me up with the likes. I really appreciate it. You like it crispy? Oh, yeah, dude. 100%. 100%. Crispy pork is one of my... you know what I really like? Both at the same time. So, like, you take, like, one of them pork bellies. Hey, what up? Danielle, how you doing, baby? Yeah, right now I'm just cooking some dinner. We got chicken thighs going right now. I just separated out the thighs, so the drums and the chicken backs for later. I'm probably going to marinate the drums in a little bit, and then I'm going to be working on these, like, puff pastry chocolate desserts with some Lindt chocolate that I got. So what I'm going to be, what I was saying, so what I really like is when you take your pork belly and you do it like 18, 20 hours overnight, super slow, star anise, Chinese 5-spice, sesame oil, you know what I'm saying, a little bit of stock, you let that come up, just overnight, boom. Pull it out, let it rest, and then what you do is you slice out like cubes, like big honking joints like that, and then you just let those rest and you fucking fry them. So that you get the best of both worlds. You get the crispy skin, you get the thick, juicy oil, and then at the same time, the meat is just like falls apart, you know what I'm saying? And you can top that with a bit of like, where do I have it? Where'd it go? Yeah, you hit it with like this char siu oil, or this char siu sauce, the Lee Kim Ki joints, right? I love this stuff. Actually, I'm gonna use this right now with my chicken. I love this stuff because it has all the sugar, it's got all the soy sauce, the sesame oils, the spices. You know what I'm saying? Yes, that is exactly what I'm talking about, dude. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah. Hey, thanks everybody for coming in. I appreciate it. If you guys got a chance, hit that like button. You know what I'm saying? It helps me in the algorithm, help find other people that are interested in food. As well as if you guys got questions about food as well, hit me up. You know what I mean? I can try to answer it to the best of my knowledge. All right? And then for future lives and stuff like that, I'm sending out another poll, just to find out what everyone's flavor is. You know what I mean? Is it American? Is it Asian, Italian, French, or other? Right? I'd love to start delving into other cuisines and other ethnic cuisines like that. So up in the left-hand corner of the screen, you'll see a little dot. Click that. That'll have the poll on it, and I'd love to know your guys' opinion. But again, if you guys got other questions about food, hit me up. You know what I'm saying? I'd love to be able to answer anything that you got. All right, my pan's almost to heat. Okay, decline that for a second. Ooh. Yeah. Well, while this is heating up, how's everyone doing today? I hope the weather's treating them good. I know it's been cold the last little bit. I know at least here it's been minus 40 the last 3-4 days. Makes your face hole hurt, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay. And then also, just so you guys know, for puff pastry, I got these bad boys right here. Right, it's 2 sheets. They're very big, really nice overall puff pastry. It's that bake it 7 days thing. It's good joints. Yeah, and they're relatively cheap. This is why I'm really messing with like puff pastry for like struggle meals. Just because you can do like a soup or you can do like a stew, bake off like a bunch of tops, right? So when you put it on your bowl, put the tops on, hit it with garlic oil, garlic butter, anything like that, a little bit of chive, and then you have basically like a, you know, a baked pot pie of any type. You can use seafood, you can use chicken, you can use beef, all that good stuff. And I'm a huge fan of it because in the bar scene or in like the fine dining restaurants, you'll always see them with like a cup with like a fucking baked puff pastry on top. And you know what I mean? Like I carry that on for like my whole career, pretty much in my regular life too. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead with just check out the oil. Yep. So it's a low sear. I'm not trying to get like a crazy high sear on them, but I do want the skin to sit flat, or as flat as possible, in the pan. Boom. There we go. Yeah. Give this a rinse. Okay, and then I'm gonna let that sear, and then once I get a good amount of crisp and browning on my chicken skin, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm just gonna start basting it with the char siu oil. I'm gonna wash my board while that's going off as well. Always good to just ELD everything and then clean off your stuff. Gives you a nice clean work surface to work with. Boom. Okay, cool. So this guy right here will probably go into the oven as is. That's why I really like using pans. What am I eating tonight, Ryan? Right now we got chicken thighs that I broke down. So I broke them down into like the drums and the chicken backs. I'm gonna save those bad boys for later. I'm gonna marinate these drums. The thighs I have searing right now, and on the back I have seasoned rice. So the rice itself has a little bit of chicken stock, powder. It has just your regular amount of water. It's your sesame oil and yeah, black sesame oil and a hit of soy sauce. So when I let that cool down, it's still going to be another like 15 minutes or so till that's done. I'm going to let that just open air cool down. I'm going to use that for a fried rice. And then the chicken itself, I'm going to just crisp out the skins. Skin side down right now. I'm going to flip them. And then I'm going to start basting them with this joint right here, which is the char siu sauce. It's really great for marinating. It's Chinese barbecue. So then it's your mom's kitchen right now. Oh, that's awesome. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that, man. Yeah, you know, we try to get like a taste of home, as well as like just so you guys know, if you guys are new to this live, what I specialize in primarily is struggle meals and like doing things that are very cost effective, like low cost, high value amount of food that, you know, you can at least feed like a few people on, right? It's sustainable and stuff like that. So if you guys dig that stuff, be sure to like and subscribe to my TikTok channel, as well as my other channel, which features dank foods, which is the same concept but really, really outrageous types of food. So it's f.ck Asian foods. Yeah, 100%. Poll went in. Yeah, it's f.ck .you I'm eating. So it's fuck you, I'm eating on TikTok here. All right. And what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to release a cookbook by the end of the year, featuring both struggle meals and dank struggle meals. So things that are just outrageous, like making like a Krispy Kreme burger, but like a little bit more elevated than just like your regular, like the Luther Vandross that you saw in Boondocks. Things that specialize and feature using items that you find at the dollar store. So things like Indomie or Top Ramen, ways to really, really enhance those dishes and still be able to feed at least like 3 or 4 people. You know what I'm saying? And we keep it nice and cheap, right? Because in this day and age, people are just having a hard enough time trying to create good meals that they enjoy without breaking the bank, right? So that's pretty much my drive on here, right? Nice. Hey, welcome everybody. Thanks for joining so much. If you guys got any questions about food, hit me up in the messages, man. I'll answer any questions you got. Right? I sent out a poll a little while ago. Not too many of you guys jumped on that, but the answers was Asian food. And you know what? I'm finding that Asian food is a huge thing right now, especially with like the ramen movement, the Korean barbecue movements, and Korean hot pot, Chinese hot pot, and dim sum movements. Those are also really becoming big. But if you guys are out there that love Asian food, I highly recommend check out your local Filipino spot, because those will be the dishes that I guarantee that you will see come up in this in the next 5-6 years, guaranteed. All right, so I just killed my rice. I'm gonna let that bad boy cool off. Yeah, and then right now I'm still getting a little bit of crisp on those chicken. I still want to get them a little bit darker, because at the end of the day, I do want them to take on a bit more color. And then when they take on a little bit of that color, when I baste it, it'll be, you know what I'm saying? When I pop that in the oven as well, that'll be pretty fire, I think. All right, so once these go in the oven, I'm gonna let that cool down, let those cook out, and then I'm gonna start on my desserts. All right. Yeah, who else we got here? So for pancit, I use both egg noodles and rice vermicelli, but I'm open to suggestions. Hey, okay, sweet. So check this out. So pancit, primarily you're going to be dealing with that vermicelli, right? I know it depends on what region of the Philippines you're from. What was it? It's pancit canton. You're going to be primarily using like vermicelli as well as like chow mein noodles, whereas the egg noodles, what I've seen is from, I think it's from my father's region where he's from, so that's like up north. You're going to use the vermicelli, and then you're also going to use like egg noodles, but it's like the longer egg noodles, you know what I'm saying? If you want an alternative, you can also use really cool things like buckwheat, as well as there's different types of Korean, like the silky glass noodles, like the angel hair glass noodles, I think is also a really good bihon noodle. Yes, 100%. And there's like all these other variances, as well as, you know what I really find, instead of using egg noodles or the chow mein noodles, use ramen noodles. That to me, sauteed, will give you, because if you've ever had, it's ramen without sauce, or like it's soupless. That's it. If you had soupless ramen, and it can be nicely coated, all that stuff, it's amazing, right? To me at least, because when you do like a nice ramen noodle, it's spongy, has a lot of bite, a lot of texture. And then when you hit it with a bit of that soy sauce, your Maggi, and give it that quick saute, you know what I'm saying? Everything becomes better with it, and it really absorbs a lot of the flavor, but it doesn't get clumpy, right? One of the biggest things that I have against, like not against Filipino food or, you know, anything like that, except that it's just that a lot of people don't service it correctly, right? And in my opinion, I really want them to take it to that next level. And what I found with, I hate to say it, with a bunch of my titas, they make really good pancit, like flavors there, all that stuff. But when they take it to the cookout, or they take it for like that Sunday lunch, you know, all know what I'm talking about. That lunch after you have after you have church. You get your Sunday lunch on, they come in those like tins, boom, they put it down, it's clumpy, right? And I love it because the flavor's there, and it reminds me of like family. But I think it could be like taken to that next level where you hit it with a little bit more like seasoned oils. It can be a little bit more fragrant. We can go the step further. Instead of just putting the sausages, you do that with your Indomie. Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm talking about. But what I love about Indomie is that it's self-contained. You know what I'm saying? You slap a fried egg on that late night, you have a snack, right? But I use Indomie physically for almost anything, right? I love Indomie because things like it. There's also that gin. It's like a mushroom-based, really savory brown kind of Indomie style noodle. It's soupless, but at the same time, you can still add your char siu. You can add sautéed vegetables to it, sprouts. Yeah, like you can add. You can even go as further as like you can chop down some watercress, give it some bitterness and some pepperiness. Add just roasted chicken to it straight up. You know what I'm saying? Hit it with some sweet chili, something like that, to bring out that savoriness, because the umami from the mushroom broth or the mushroom sauce, it's already existing, right? So to throw stuff on top of that is amazing. Or you put on some really soft braised pork. I think that is also a huge benefit. But yeah, it really depends on where you want to go with it. I'm a huge fan of Spam or like anything like canned meat style, because to me it makes a lot of sense to go that distance. You feel me? Okay, so right now I'm getting these kick-ass crispy tops right here. Boom. And I'm just gonna go ahead and group them together just like that. Right? You're gonna see that, and then I'm just gonna pop this guy open right here. Where's the seam? There you are. Nice. Yeah, my little one's in the back there. She's on her iPad eating some eggs and toast. Classic Filipino. Okay, so right now I'm just searing out the bottom of this bad boy. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and stir this thing out. Right, I'm going to go ahead and kill the heat too. Boom. Right. I thought I had a brush, but I think I left that at like one of my gigs. So, no big deal. I'll have to go pick one of those up. And see, now I'm going to rub this sugar-based char siu sauce on top as it's cooling down in the pan. So what this is going to do is that you notice that because we did such really crispy skin, it's actually sticking to the skin right now. And it's not running off, right? Which is what we want at the end of the day. Boom. Look at that joint right there. Damn. Yeah. Yeah. And the awesome part about this is it's not going to be, it's going to drip down, it's going to hit the oil, it's going to emulsify a little bit and caramelize on the bottom of the pan. So then you get this nice crust on the actual flesh of the chicken, right? What I'm really looking for is that this kind of melts and caramelizes on the skin, making the skin ultimately very crispy, okay? And usually when you use a marinade like this, it's exactly that. It's a marinade. So I would take this stuff and I would actually like baste it or marinate it overnight, which I actually might do. Which I actually might do with these chicken drums. I haven't really decided what I want to do with it. I was thinking about doing drums with the char siu and a little bit of this Arabian 7 spice that I found. It's very similar to the spices that they use in like tandoori or in like shawarma and stuff. It has like a lot of the same components, but not the same ratios. So, boom, just like that. This will be good for now. I'm probably gonna baste it again in maybe about 10 minutes or so. Yo, fried Spam. Oh man, you have no idea. Fried Spam is like one of my go-to things 100%. Yo, hey, I don't know about you, but I can literally just eat like regular fried Spam, right, on plain ass rice with a fried egg. It's like one of my favorite things in the world. Like my wife, when we were like dating, like she was like, because you know you get that connotation with Spam in like Western culture. It's canned meat, it's not good. But I got her completely converted. If you want a really good way to up your Spam game on regular rice, what I really love is that there's a wicked thing that you can do if you go grab some ponzu sauce, right? In a pan, ponzu sauce, a little bit of maple syrup, right? And reduce it down, right? And then once it's cooled down, add a small tablespoon of hoisin, stir it up, and then pour and drizzle that over top of your Spam and rice, so you have a little bit of that sweet, that savory. You know what I'm saying? It's one of my favorite things. And then you hit it with some sesame seeds, or you can do like crushed peanuts, or you can do what like that rice porridge thing we do in the Philippines, where it's like a little bit of that burnt garlic, right? it's just all amazing flavors in total. I love that stuff. All right, so the heat's down on this bad boy right here. Okay, so then I'm just gonna go ahead. My oven's sitting at 350, so I'm just gonna go ahead and put this into the top rack because I'm gonna use the bottom rack for my desserts. All right. And guys, if you guys are following this recipe or potentially thinking about doing a recipe like this, before you put your pan in the oven, make sure that it's like oven safe, okay? Do me a solid. I don't want you guys burning or melting any of your pans. I remember when I started cooking, I melted like 5 pans easily. You know what I'm saying? Not knowing that the handles they don't do the thing. Yo, you want it all? I appreciate you. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and thank you everybody that's actually just joining, all that stuff. Right now I'm just making some dinner, some desserts. Be sure that if you like this live, hit those hearts for me. It helps me in the algorithm as well. It helps me find new people that are into food. And as well, if you guys have questions about food, anything about food, please. I love talking about it. So if you guys got questions or you need help with any recipes or anything like that, hit me in the comments. I can definitely help you out, all right? All right, so I got my rice. Yeah, the rice is nice and separate, right? It's starting to cool, but I'm not going to fluff it. What I like is that it collects on the bottom and it stays really fluffy on top so that when you toss it, it actually amalgamates into this much better fine-grained kind of fried rice. But I'll show you that as the chicken's kind of finishing up. I want to get my desserts into the oven and get those going right now, okay? So for starters, I'm going to use puff pastry. And then I'm going to be throwing those guys onto baking sheets or muffin sheets. All right. And in the next, 5 or so lives, you're going to see me doing a lot of puff pastry based things. Just because what I love about puff pastry and what I love about doing things of that nature is that you can do large volumes of stuff and it's like relatively easy, right? It's one of those things that if you got friends coming over or they're staying the night, you guys can literally do anything you want. Yeah, thank you. You guys can literally do anything you want in those puff pastries. Sweet, savory, spicy, you know what I mean? Tons of textures, tons of flavors. And we'll just hit that up as well. Yeah, be sure to hit that like button. It helps me out a lot, guys. I appreciate it. Okay, so for the chocolate aspect, we're going to use this phyllo dough right here, right? What I like about this one is it's a more voluminous puff pastry. You don't have to use this brand necessarily. I just found that this brand has, for the 2 sheets that you get for it for like the $4, is well worth the cost because it's thicker, and then when it puffs in the oven, it comes up like a lot of volume, okay? And on the other hand as well, it just has a good amount of like butter fat ratio that really sets the tone for what you're making, okay? And then for the chocolate on the inside, I'm going to use these, right? Because we just happen to have like a bunch of these left over from the holidays, right? That was like like 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago, but these are still good, so I'm just going to go ahead and just crank through them, you know what I mean? Because if I don't, we're just going to just have these. All right, so I'm going to do roughly about 24 puffs, and we'll see where we end up. So I know for a fact we ain't going to eat them all here, so I'm just going to go ahead and pack them up, and I'm going to send them with my wife to work tomorrow. Okay, so your packs will come like this, boom, right? Individual packs. What I like too is that these are quarter folded, they're not 1/8 folded. If you get the ones that are 1/8 folded, you got to let them make sure that they are defrosted, because once you get to the core might have not defrosted completely, and when you unroll it, it's going to start breaking through the middle, okay? So that to me is a super important part of it. So what I'm going to do with these bad boys right here is I'm going to go ahead and slice out the top of this package, open it up, and again, it's like covered in wax, right, which is dope. So this will actually help out the rolling process. And again, with the quarter fold, you're going to see that it doesn't stick, even though it's defrosted. And I like that. I like that a lot. Just because, again, it's like one of those things that if it's defrosted correctly, right, and it's like tempered to moderate heat, this thing is actually one of the best products you can have. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to give it a quick flat, cut these guys in half, right, down lengthwise, And then I'm gonna cut the lengths again in half, so now you have effectively quarters. Okay, and boom, just like that. And just turn my thing against me. So when I learned how to cut, I was actually like, you never actually go down straight into like the table. Actually, if anything, you're at an angle. So I would be like this, and if I'm at this angle, this is how I get the straightest cuts. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Everyone's welcome at our table. What I like to do is I'm just going to go ahead like that, boom, right? And then I'm going to separate each one of these lengths into threes, okay? Super important. So then you're left with 6, 6, 6, 6. So then you have 24 all day. That'll fit all both of these trays. So we'll go. What I like to do is I'll start with the insides first, and then go to the outside. It doesn't have to be perfect, but as long as it's like relatively big enough to fit the muffin tin, we're laughing, okay? And the best part about doing something like this is, again, if you guys like love puff pastry, you want to do something savory, stuff like that, you can also do things like, see, once it's in, right? It's in like that, right? It creates a nice crevice. You can actually go ahead, throw your eggs in there, throw sausages, throw your vegetables. It's basically just pie. It's pie pastry, you know what I'm saying? You can actually, one of my favorite things to do is you do it with apple pie filling, cherry pie filling. Fill that up just a little bit so it doesn't sink all the way. And then when you bake it, it's basically a puff pastry pie. And you know what I mean? I usually just go ahead, hit it with some caramel sauce, put a little ice cream on top of it, whipped cream, whatever. Do that thing. So I'm just gonna go ahead and start filling these up a little bit. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining the live. I appreciate it. You guys got any questions, anything like that, please feel free to leave a message in the comments below, by all means. Thanks a lot for the lives. That really seriously helps me out. Gets me in the algorithm, makes me able to find people like y'all, people that are interested in food. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, and then for anyone new in here, just so you know, right now I'm working on char siu chicken thighs, slow roasted, nice and easy at 350. I have some rice here at the end. That was hot. Rice here at the end. That's already finished. Now it's just cooling down. I'm going to do a nice fried rice. The rice itself has soy sauce, black sesame oil, and a little bit of chicken stock, so it really maintains that savory MSG flavors. And so when I do the fried rice, I don't have to add more to it. It's already starting to get built in, okay?
Mom got me.
Ooh, that smells great.
It's just our flame.
Why is it different? This smells like an orange citrus something. That's awesome. Is that lotion or is that soap? Okay. Where are we at? Nice, dude. Yeah. By all means, get your puff pastry out. Get a sheet out. Experiment. Do like 4, 4, 4, and 4. You know what I'm saying? Or you can do just do a dozen of something. You know, by all means, because at the end of the day, it's all about playing with your food. You know what I mean? And I appreciate that kind of stuff because I find a lot these days, especially as a chef, chefs these days, especially if you watch the Food Network, they're, I hate to say it, kind of pretentious. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, play with your food. Right? Experiment with flavors that you never thought you would have prior, because like that's really important. Yeah, and me, I like coming up with like theoretical ideas and designs in my head and then just executing them, right? Because as long as they can maintain cost-effective and really well-balanced flavor profiles, it's really something that's just super easy to do. If you were to challenge yourself, something that I always advocate for is being able to go to some place where, you know, I don't know if you guys are located in the States or in Canada. Yeah. Well, I'm a huge fan of eating with my hands too, right? So playing with your food is 100% something that happens in. So you're in Canada, okay, cool. So go to like go to a spot like Dollarama. Go to any of those like any place you can buy cheap food. You know it's cheap food when like you can go and get like a can of Chunky and it costs you $1. You know what I'm saying? Try cooking food out of a 7-Eleven, which is weird enough to say, but like this is nice. Northern BC. I'm located in Calgary. Yeah. I know exactly what's going on here. So what I suggest is always trying to challenge yourself to no frills. Hey, okay, so you have what's basically like Loblaws or like our version of what do you call it? Superstore. Right? So yeah, go to no frills. Go get the most gangster cheap stuff that you can find. Play around with it. See what you can come up with, because again, that's how I discovered like with things like Indomie or Top Ramen. There's other things you can do than just soup, right? So as long as you understand like the basics and necessity of like cheap foods, like things like eggs, which come in higher volumes, and stuff like that, you can actually make quite a bit of stuff for quite cheap. Other things that I utilize is as much as it is cheaper in some cases to make things from scratch, make things fresh, the problem with doing that, exactly, stir fry noodles, right? And it's an amazing ingredient when you're doing things for stir fry, right? To me, it makes a lot of sense to use those things up, right? Because if you don't, at the end of the day, let me throw this up. Because at the end of the day, it's more accessible for everyone, right? Because not everyone has storage space, with our economy being how it is. Storage space is at like a fucking premium, and you want to be able to like at least make the food that make you happy at the end of the day too, right? It's not all about being able to have food and not enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I understand some people consider food just fuel, but I find that it's depressing, so I can't do that. So my thing is, if you can just create the food that you love, that's what's going to sustain us all, right? It's what's going to sustain you in your day-to-day life, and you're going to look forward to it, right? Probably in the next couple days. So our next live will be on Wednesday, around the same time. So it's 5 p.m. my time, Mountain Time. And what I'm looking forward to doing is I'm probably going to do like a dish like this. A dessert probably, and I'm going to do a slow cooker recipe as well, because I think it's super important to also use things like I don't have an air fryer. I never use those things, but like to have a slow cooker that cooks and braises something slowly over a period of time really makes food accessible for everybody involved, right? Because some people, like I know a lot of film kids, like we have SAIT here in the city. There's a lot of film students, a lot of art students, stuff like that. They ain't got time. They are stressed out, and they want food that's nourishing, hearty, puts them to sleep, right? Gets their heart full, their stomachs full. That's really what's important. So I think on Wednesday, we're going to do something that's like a slow cooker recipe, something that's for the next day, and then we're going to do something for the night of, stuff like that. So if you guys got suggestions, anything you want to see me cook, anything like that, by all means, leave it in the comments below. Be sure to follow me, and I'll guarantee I'll put that on the list of things going up, and I'll dedicate the episode to you, because I will be doing the recipe that you recommended, okay? Yeah, absolutely. What's a turbo wave oven? I think that would be fire, because again, I'm looking for things that like for everybody, right? Because I want this to be like accessible, friendly. Everything that I do, I kind of want to make sure that everyone can use it, can do it, as well as like you know what I'm saying? It's just how do I describe it? It's something that like everyone can get behind, you know what I'm saying? So right now what I'm doing is I'm putting all these Lindt chocolates into, yes honey? I'm on live right now. Okay, right now I'm actually just going ahead and undoing all these Lindt chocolates. So these are the Lindt chocolate balls with that kind of like mousse filling. I'm just gonna put them into the center of these bad boys right here. And I'm gonna fill the pastries up. So when these bake, they'll have these like Lindt chocolates baked in. Boom. And I think that'll be interesting, because I think they're gonna melt down like really evenly. while the puff pastry kind of like goes around it. I might be wrong. I'm actually keeping in mind, I've never tried this with this type of chocolate with this type of puff pastry. So I'm kind of just going off of a guess right at this point. If you guys love guesses, man, leave a like and leave a comment. I appreciate it. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and fill these guys up, pop them in the oven, and I think right about now my chickens, it's been roughly about 20 minutes or so. The chickens are in the oven, so I think I'm gonna, once these go in, I'm gonna pull them, I'm gonna rebaste them, and I'm gonna finish them off. They should pretty much be at done. By that I mean they should be sitting at 160 degrees Celsius, internal cooking. Chocolate, okay, so if you're wondering what else I'm actually going to add, I'm actually just going to cook this right now, just the chocolates in the puff pastry. So what I'd like is that these things, radiant and infrared. Oh, that's fire. Kat, that's awesome. And Kelly, yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm doing a chocolate puff pastry with like these lindt balls that we got from the holiday. So I'm just going to use these up. What I'm hoping is that it sits like an egg on the center, like kind of like it melted down, and then it just puffs up with it. Then I'm going to finish it with some caramel, and then a little bit of Skor bar crumbs, and a hit of salt, right? So I think it'll be super decadent, right? Because again, if anybody knows me, I love things like salted caramel, burnt salted caramel, as well as anything like those crunchy caramel nibs. So at the store, you can actually buy, like, if you've ever had Skor bars, right? Skor bars, they have the crunchy inside, and they have this broken up in a bag. So I'm trying to like find ways to utilize that, because it's literally like $1.50 for that bag, and it's just a sprinkling on, right? Amazing textures, all that stuff, man. Yeah. What's going on, everybody? Man, there's a lot of people up in here. I appreciate y'all for coming through. Yo, if you can, I appreciate that. Appreciate the free tong. Appreciate that cloud bread. If you guys got any questions, anything like that about food, any comments that you want to see, any food that you want me to make in the future, leave a message in the comments below. I'd be more than happy to help you out. Shane, I really appreciate that. I really do. Thank you so much. Yeah, if you guys want to throw in on those cloud breads, I'd really appreciate that as well. I'm just trying to reach a 30 cloud bread goal today. Nothing crazy. Because again, I'm new to live. I just want to see what the waters look like, all that stuff. Okay, so then I got 2 more chocolates that just got to get unwrapped up in this guy right here. Boom, and I'm just going to go ahead and shove these in the oven right now. Okay, so as you can see, there's like these guys right here. They're starting to melt up just a little bit, just like eggs. And then I'm just going to go ahead and throw these into a 350 oven for roughly about 15, actually maybe even less. I'm probably going to do it for about 13 to 15 minutes total. That will get us up to the nice puff, but it's going to be nice and golden, but it won't be like super dark, super hard. I want it to be really nice and soft, so that when I hit it with that caramel, it'll sink into the pastry. Gorgeous, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, like I was saying though, if you guys have any questions, comments, stuff like that, I'd really appreciate it. There's almost 100 people in here now. Yeah, so yeah, leave. Hey, you're gorgeous, Islam. I appreciate you. Yeah, but if you guys got any suggestions, anything you want to see me make in the next lives, I'll take that down on the list. And by all means, if I cook that, I will leave your name in the comments below as a tribute to you and your suggestions. All right, I appreciate you guys for coming through, man. How's everyone doing tonight as well? Oh, that's awesome. Thank you. Can I have this? Oh, that's mine. Oh, what? Yo, check it out. My girl got me this. Aha! Yeah. It says, ask me about cryptids. Ask me about cryptids. Yeah, dude.
This is the maker.
Yo, it was made by this person here. Groovy Galaxy. On Instagram?
Instagram and Etsy.
Instagram and Etsy. Yo, check them out. I love pins, dude. I love these. Sick, dude. That's awesome. Okay, so it's 6 o'clock. Cool, so it's 6 o'clock on my clock right now, so I'm assuming about 6:13 I'm gonna go ahead and pull these bad boys out of the oven. All right. Now that that's out, I'm gonna go ahead and check on my chicken as well. Nice. Okay, so as you can see, the chicken actually started to glaze on top. Right, the bottoms are nice and cooked. Yep. Cool. So since the bottoms are actually cooked, and the caramel is starting to it is starting to caramelize, and I'm getting a good amount of oil on the bottom. What I'm thinking about doing is I'm probably going to reglaze these, throw them back in. I can't use the broiler right now, which kind of sucks, but you know what? I'm probably going to, yeah, let's go ahead and just reglaze these a little bit. Okay. Your uncle phoned and he said, "Bye, Zui." Why he say that? I actually have no idea. If that's Tagalog, I have no idea, my friend. I am officially one of them bougie Filipino kids in Canada. Shane, man, I really appreciate that. I really do. Okay, so what I'm glazing this bad boy with is like the char siu marinade, char siu barbecue sauce, right? So it has all the nice Chinese spices in it, all that gorgeousness in it as well. And what it is basically, it's mostly made for a marinade overnight. If you can marinate anything like your chicken, your beef, your pork, you can actually use this with fish as well, which is gorgeous with any white fish. You'll see that when you bake it, it'll have a nice, rich, red color, really nice glaze, and amazing style of flavor, because it is that Chinese barbecue that you get at like the fast food place, right? And that to me is huge, because again, emulating any of that stuff at home saves you a bit of money, right? But you can also make this barbecue sauce stretch a long way. Turbo oven? Yeah, you're probably right. But you know what? I just make it work. A turbo oven would be fire. I'll actually look into that, just because I find those very fascinating. I find the idea of having like something that's not like a Ninja. What do you call it? Hey, what do you call that thing that your mother-in-law has that they cook on their counter?
My mother-in-law has?
Oh, sorry, my mother-in-law, your mom?
That they cut up the air fryer?
It's an air fryer. That's what it's called.
Nobody made it through the pandemic without getting an air fryer.
I know everyone hit the air fryer like it was like the newest thing, but I don't know. I've been holding off just because like I'm a French trained guy, so like I just try to just do what I can with what I got. You know what I'm saying? All right, so I reglazed it. I'm gonna go ahead and throw this bad boy back in. Oh yeah, those chocolates are nice and starting to bake up real good. So it's gonna be more like a croissant texture in the puff pastry, mixed with like it's like a chocolat de pan, you know what I'm saying? And it's just gonna be mwah, right? With a hit of caramel, salt, a little bit of the Skor bar. Oh man, it'd be fire. You like to do roast chicken in it? That's fire. Right on, Shane, man. Yo, hey, anything I can do to help you out with your learning experience as well as your learning journey when it comes to cooking, I highly recommend it. Rylan, how you doing? Yeah, so anyone that's new, that's coming in, I appreciate you guys for rolling through. Please be sure to hit me up with some of those likes. I really appreciate it. Again, it helps me in the algorithm, makes me able to find guys like yourselves. Anyone that wants to talk about food, wants to learn about food. If you guys got questions about food, please hit me up in the comments below as well. I'd be happy to answer anything that you got, for sure. Yeah. I'm going to run a quick poll again. See what you guys think, because I want to see what the temperature is in the room for what kind of national foods that you guys like. Is it Asian? Is it Italian? Is it American? Is it other? Right? If it's other, please leave what you love in the comments below. I'd love to see what that looks like, so then at least it helps me in the future know what kind of food that would be more interesting to y'all and all that stuff. Nanners, thanks so much for all the cloud breads. Damn. Yeah. And if you guys feel inclined to leave me a couple cloud breads as well, I appreciate y'all for doing that. Nice, nice. Yeah, so the chicken will be coming out of the oven probably in the next 5 minutes. It should be nice. The glaze will be finished. Right, I'm going to leave that there for now. I'm going to pull them from the... I'm going to pull them from the pan. And I'm probably going to clean off the pan. I'm going to start my stir fry for you guys. All right. Boom. So yeah, I'm going to take my broken down meat. I'm going to throw it in the fridge. Okay. It's cool. So for the rice, you'll see that it's nice and broken down. And if I dig to the bottom, right, it's all relatively loose, right? Nothing's clumping. All nice grains. For this, I think I used like, I think it was a jasmine Indian rice. Oh, basmati. Yeah. So I used an Indian basmati rice. I've always felt when it comes to things like stir fries or stuff like that, it doesn't get clumpy and it stays like really moist, really fine grained, but it's still very separate from each other. So when you do your fried rice, it really breaks apart and you can actually stir fry your rice evenly and really solid, you know what I'm saying? I love that kind of stuff. Okay. So, boom. Got that on deck right here. Yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull my chicken out, and then I'm going to place it into a container. Real quick. This will do. Just like that. Cool. Yeah, dude. Yeah, and then my baked items will be coming out in the next... Oh, that's a good amount of oil. Right on. Then I got my puff pastries. They'll be coming out... Me, yes, I definitely do wash my rice. The best is always to wash your rice twice. And on the third one, that's pretty much where you should get clarity. If it's a little murky, it doesn't matter to me. I'm just trying to get any of the extra sediment, anything that might just be supplementary to it during its packaging, stuff like that. Hi, Lynn. Okay, so tonight what I made is it's the char siu glazed chicken thighs, right? So they're fully cooked. I'm just actually pulling them out of the oven right now. I crisped up the thighs. I separated the thighs from the drums as well as the chicken backs. I'm going to use them for later. And then as well, I'm going to be making a nice fried rice to go with it. So I'm going to use a bit of bacon, eggs, corn, and edamame. The rice itself it's seasoned already, so it's chicken stock, it's black sesame oil, and it's a little bit of soy sauce, just so it brings up that savoriness, right? And then in the oven as well, you'll be with my wife tomorrow, so you'll get those pastries. I have these lindt chocolate pastries that I have in the oven. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of butterscotch caramel, a little bit of salt, as well as these, the Skor bar crumbs. So we're definitely not going to be able to eat a bunch of them, so I'm just going to pack them up. I'm going to send it with her tomorrow morning, and you'll come into that, all right? Work snacks. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Thanks for joining my live. I appreciate you. What's up, everybody? Anyone that's new in here, I appreciate you for joining me. Hit me with them likes. It helps me in the algorithm, again, just so I can meet new other people that really love food, want to talk about food. And as usual, if you guys got any questions, any comments, anything like that, please leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to help you out with any questions that you have. Okay, yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and pull all this chicken out of the pan. And being that there's actually quite a bit of oil, so I'll let these chicken thighs rest just like that. Nice, right? You can see that it's actually quite nice. They're glazed properly, right? The bottoms are colored correctly. The bone is coming off the meat, which means that it's pulling back, and the bottoms and the center are starting to get cooked completely. Okay, 6:09, so I'm looking at, I'm gonna go for another 2 minutes or so on the puff pastry, so I'm gonna pull them at about 6:12 here. Yeah, Asian, right on. I dig it. Yeah. Okay, so knowing that there's actually quite a bit of oil in the pan, right? There's all this residual, as well as a bit of the char siu marinade in it. I'm actually okay to actually just go ahead and stir fry with it, just because, again, if you can just incorporate a lot of the flavors to make a unanimous flavored profile on the plate, that is ideal, right? And since there's not a crazy amount of the sauce in the oil, it's a lot of oil from the skin and the fat from the chicken, you're only just going to keep enhancing the flavor of the fried rice, all right? So with the fried rice, I'm going to get ahead and have this thing starting to rip up. So I'm going to go ahead to about 6.5 on the heat. Yo, I appreciate all the cloud breads, guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the likes. Again, that helps me out a lot. If you guys feel inclined, leave me a cloud bread as well, right? Doesn't cost you much, but I'm looking for 30 cloud breads today. I really appreciate it if you did it. Cool. So yeah, right now I'm seeing that like the oil and the caramelization on the bottom is starting to get a little bit of the bubble, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and pull the rice, and what I do with the rice, I take my forceps tongs. If you don't have forceps tongs, you can use a spatula. You know what I'm saying? You can use a regular ass spoon. I'm just bougie, okay? Yeah, you can go ahead, just give it a quick stir. Actually, you can technically even use chopsticks. That's basically what like forceps tongs are. Lazy people chopsticks, right? That's why you see a lot of French guys use them. Yay. Okay, just break it up. Boom, like that. Okay, and I'm gonna wait till this bad boy comes up to a proper simmer. You're gonna notice it just start to caramelize, but you don't want it to burn. That's the real thing. You want to get a good amount of color in the pan itself, a good amount of heat before you add anything, and you want to add the majority of your ingredients before you add your rice. Your rice should literally be kind of the last thing that you want to add in. So what I'm going to add in first is my edamame and my corn. I keep them frozen because it helps temper it, right? It keeps everything from over caramelizing, and it's good to have frozen ingredient as well because it's cheaper, right? When it comes to edamame, I don't want to have to like shuck edamame beans. I don't know what kind of psychopath wants to do that like on a day off or like or like during their day, you know what I'm saying? So now that that's coming up, you'll see it starting to simmer. Boom. I'm gonna go ahead and grab my corn, grab my edamames. All right, and edamame, if you don't know, it's basically like Asian green beans for the most part. It's a type of legume, right? Really gorgeous, right? Go ahead and toss a bunch of those in, right? This will help, by doing it frozen, it'll release a bit of the oil, as well as it'll help pick up a bunch of the extra fond and stuff from the caramelization in the pan, all right? So essentially, you're just building flavor at this point. All right, so I got you notice that it also slowed down the simmer of the oil. So that's a kind of a good thing, especially at the heat that I have. I'm gonna add in my corn. Today I'm using peaches and cream corn because I like the flavor. It's really sweet overall, right? Nanners, what fond is more or less the caramelized and like slightly burnt stuff on the bottom of a pan. And it's not necessarily burnt as it is caramelized. And what that is flavor. Essentially, it's stuff that came from your meat, it's stuff that came from your vegetables, and it's stuff that you want to harness especially when you're making a sauce, when you're making a stock, and in this case, you're doing a fried rice. You really want to be able to get the good scrapings off of that, and that's what's going to give you a lot of really intense flavors overall as well. Yeah, again, if you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I'd be happy to answer anything you got. Okay, so right now I got these bad boys right here. Boom. Right? That caramel in the pan. It's going pretty good. The oil itself is actually getting released, and you're seeing a lot of the water start to dissipate slowly out of the edamame and stuff. So I'm probably gonna wait another 3 minutes or so. And then I'm gonna add my eggs. So while that's searing up, it's 6:14 on my clock. And it's about time to be able to pull these chocolate joints. Yeah. Okay. And as you can see, the lindt chocolates themselves, some are the white chocolate, some are the dark chocolate lindts. the centers. So you see they melted directly into the thing, created like these gorgeous little stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let these cool down for a little bit. You also notice that they took on color, but not a crazy amount. So they're going to be nice, light, not super crispy, but they're going to be very textural and crispy as well, right? So that's what I'm looking for. So I'm going to let these cool down, and I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to hit them. Turn off my oven. I'm going to go ahead and hit them after they've cooled down for a little bit with a little bit of butterscotch. You'll see, all right? Right, so now you're seeing the edamame and the corn start to simmer. You're starting to see a lot of the water come out, and it'll start dissipating in probably the next few minutes here. Yeah. Okay. Boom. Right, and a really good tip for anybody that's out there that's going to be working with puff pastry is at the beginning, I actually gave these a quick spray with some pan spray, just a regular everyday pan spray. You can also get the same kind of stuff at the dollar store. You can get it for real cheap, all right? Onion, garlic, actually, there's already onion and garlic flavor profiling in the, in the actual seasoning and in the oil. And in this case, I'm actually going to flavor it with bacon. That's something I totally forgot to mention, is I'm actually just going to cut some double thick, a couple slices of that into the thing, adding it to the oil. Also, what I was going to say is a really good technique to know that these are non-stick is that when they come out of the oven, just give them a quick spin. If they move, that means these will pop out, no problem, okay? It's always good to check so that you don't have any like hot spots in your oven. Yeah, those are all coming out nice and perfect, okay? Right, so now my corn and my edamame are starting to caramelize properly, and I've actually gone ahead and pulled the majority of the fond right off of the pan. So now that that's good to go, I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to take this this bacon that we had in our freezer that I defrosted earlier. This is this old-fashioned hickory smoked double thick bacon. You don't have to use expensive bacon. Again, today we had it, and we were using it for a type of sandwich that my partner really enjoys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use about three shards. Okay, this is what that bacon looks like. Really thick. Like, look at this joint. Right? That means like when you buy stuff like this, it is a little bit more expensive, but at the same time, you're going to have to use less if you're going to use it not as like a bacon strip. Okay. So what I'm really going to do is, now that I'm starting to get caramelization on my vegetables, I'm just going to go ahead and toss this in. This stuff is cold too, so it should slow down the cook on the pan. Just like that. Boom. And done. Okay. Okay, cool. So the idea here is I'm going to start to render out a lot of the oil and fat from the bacon. Just like that. Nice. Right, and as well, that bacon will take on that char siu flavor. So it's just char siu all over the place in terms of flavor profiling. I mean, she is lucky to get this kind of food, but I think I'm the lucky one. Right, she's a lovely person, so. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and let this guy sear off. Get that oil kind of rendering from the bacon, right? And then I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna throw in about, in this case, I think I'm gonna throw in like 3 eggs, 100%. All right, so yeah, I'm gonna go with like, actually I'm gonna go with 2 eggs. I think 3 of it might be a little bit overkill. You don't wanna overdo it. Cool. Nice. Nice, nice. Again, if anyone's new to this live stream, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. If you like what I'm doing, if you have any questions about food, I'd be more than willing to answer anything that you got. If you get a chance, please hit that likes, because that helps me in the algorithm. Helps me find new people, helps new people find me. We can get to talk about food as much as we can, all right? And if you're new here, don't know what I'm cooking right now, I just cooked up some chocolate puff pastries using lindt chocolate, those lindt chocolate balls. I'm gonna finish them with a bit of caramel, a bit of like nice Malden salt, and a little bit of the Skor bar crumble. Right, I have, as well as I took apart some chicken thighs, kept the thigh part, took the drumsticks and the backs, threw them in the fridge to marinate, and I have char siu marinated chicken thighs right here. And then currently what I'm working on right now, it's a bacon, edamame, and corn with egg, fried rice to go along with the chicken thighs. What kind of cross-contamination are you talking about here, brother? Cool. So now I'm starting to get a good amount of caramelization and color on the bacon shards, as well as the corn and edamame. At this point, I'm going to go ahead and toss in my eggs. Where did I put that? This Lord. All right, so when it comes to putting eggs in your fried rice, don't move them immediately. Like I like to do is I'll just leave them kind of center of the pan, and then I'm going to give it a quick stir. You can hear the kiddo in the background. No, I don't believe I did. I actually was washing my hands after I washed all my boards, my knives, all that stuff, all at the same time. Okay, so the eggs will be scrambled, all that, right here. Hey, you don't have to apologize, man. I appreciate you holding me accountable. Right? I really appreciate that, actually, because at the end of the day, I find a lot of people, if you actually watch, yeah, really good catch. Yeah, but just so you know, I started with wash hands. Cool. Hey, welcome. Mama Mia, welcome. I appreciate you for joining us. Nah, son. Nah, does it stress you out? Nah, the idea behind it is I'm just gonna let the eggs cook through, and then at this point, you're gonna see that they've already taken on all that char siu oil and chili oil. Then I'm just gonna add in the eggs, or sorry, not the eggs. I'm gonna add in all the rice. Boom. Right, I might not add all of it because that might be overkill. Just like that. I'm actually going to pump the heat up as well. Attaboy. I appreciate that, man. Thanks for looking up. Yeah. Michelle, how are you? I'm not doing too bad. I am Filipino. Thank you. Right now, what I'm cooking right now is some char siu style fried rice. It has bacon, eggs, edamame, what do you call it? The sweet corn to go along with these char siu chicken thighs that I have just cooling off and resting. They've just been glazed, crisped in the pan with a bit of the char siu marinade thrown in. I threw it in the oven, gave it a quick bake. In the back right here, these are my desserts. These are Lindt chocolate puff pastries. I just used the Lindt chocolate balls. Hey, Mama Mia, thank you for joining us. I appreciate it, man. Come back again. I appreciate it. Yeah, and in the back of the Lindt chocolate puff pastries that I'm going to then finish with a bit of butterscotch, a little bit of light Malden salt that I have, just crushed Malden salt, and a little bit of the Skor bar crumb that I found that usually goes in cookies, but to finish it off with that, just mwah. Caramel, salt, chocolate, amazing thing. Yeah, what you guys are going to see in my next at least maybe 3 or 4 lives, I'm going to be using a lot of different ways to work with puff pastry, strictly because I mean, first of all, if you buy pre-made puff pastry, it's really easy, it's really cheap, as well as anyone, it's really accessible from pretty much anybody, and I really appreciate that because when you have accessible food, Michelle, so the way I got on live is I actually use a TikTok sponsored agency that allows me to bring stuff like this on, but I have to do a minimum amount of lives in a month, so I believe it's like between 14 to 18 hours every month as an accumulation, right? So Corey, you're a bit too observative. Hey, I love that. It's always good. Like, if people aren't observant, then we're just missing things, right? Yeah, and just so you know, I would have taken the hit anyways if you told me and I hadn't done it. I'd take accountability for it, right? Because I really love when people actually hold people accountable for the things that they're doing, stuff like that, right? And it shows how, like, people are adults, right? I dig that. I am Canadian. Where are you from? Sausage stars? No, sir. What these are is Lindt chocolate puff pastries. So I used like the Lindt chocolate balls, put them into the center, gave them a bake. I'm going to go ahead and finish these bad boys off with some butterscotch that I have left over that I purchased a little bit ago. I'm going to hit them with a little bit of salt, Malden salt that's ground up, and I'm going to hit them with some Skor bar crumbs to finish. All right, so now, oh yeah. Flipped it. So now my fried rice is completely loose from the pan, right? And the grains themselves are really loose as well. Fire. So that's pretty much good to go. Just gonna give it a quick taste. What do I do with my spoon? There it is. Yeah, nice. So a lot of the bacon flavor comes through. Bacon looks nice and soft. All that good stuff. So, I'm gonna hit it with just a small amount of soy sauce. Just like that. Just to up the salt. And then just to make sure I deglaze the bottom of the pan for any extra small fond, put a small hit of the Chinese cooking wine. All right, and that's pretty much the gist of it. Nice. So I'm going to go ahead and kill my heat. Again, this isn't a true fried rice, just because I don't have like open flame, a wok, all that stuff. My background, I'm a Filipino Canadian. So I was born in the Philippines and I immigrated to Canada when I was super young. I just been raised in Canada. Okay. Hey, Corey, man, I appreciate the follow, bro. Thank you so much. Yeah, so again, if you guys are new to my channel, and new to my lives, I'm new to being on live as well. But if you guys can be hitting that like button, subscribing to my channel as well, or my page as well, I'd really appreciate it, because I'm just going to be trying to serve food That's what do you call it? That's economical, easy to make, accessible from everybody. And if you guys have any suggestions and stuff you want to hear me make or see me make in the near future, I'd love to dedicate a recipe to you on my next live. So if you guys are also new or don't know, I'm going to be always streaming Tuesdays, Thursdays, Saturdays around the same times. Saturday I'm going to be doing a longer stream from it's going to be a longer stream from like 4 till 6 p.m. Mountain Time. And on Tuesday, Thursdays, I'm streaming from roughly about 5 p.m. to 6 or 6:30 p.m. Mountain Time as well. Luna. So what I did is I actually applied for an agency that deals with specific types of talents and content creation. So on the agency that I'm on, I proved to them that I have been content creating and live producing for a long time on platforms like Instagram as well as YouTube for at least the last 7 years on YouTube, and the last maybe since COVID on Instagram, going live doing that thing. So you can find lots of agencies that are taking on new content creators, new live streamers, stuff like that. And it's easy. It's easy, but it's at the same time, you still got to break. You still got to do, your minimum hours. So for me, in my agency, minimum hours means between 14 and 18 hours a month. It's already off. I wouldn't even worry about it. Right. At the same time, I do like a little bit of that. I'm Filipino, so I do like a little bit of that crispy crust on my rice. Yeah. So again, if you guys like what I'm doing here, please subscribe to the page. I go live Tuesday, Thursday, Saturdays. By all means, Kels, you know what I'm talking about with that crispy crust on that rice. I'm like paella style. Ooh. That's 100% what I'm into. Nanners, thanks so much for the cloud breads. I think I hit my goal of 30 cloud breads. Thanks, guys. Damn. You guys really did it for me, man. Okay, so I got these guys just resting. I got my chickens resting as well. I'm going to go ahead, just leave that to the side. And I'm going to finish my desserts. Okay? So with the desserts, real simple. So usually I'll be making, what do you call it? I got to just wash this real quick. Yeah, usually I'll be making up my own caramels, but since I didn't have a crazy amount of time to do up a nice butterscotch today, I didn't have a lot of time to be doing up a proper butterscotch. Instead, I just went to the superstore because I'm in Canada, or for anyone else in Canada, it's like Loblaws or Freshco or something like that, whoever owns that. Hey, I appreciate that, man. 7K, that's big for me, right? Yeah, crispy rice is bomb. What's up, Gary? How you doing, sir? Yeah, welcome as always. So I'm going to go ahead and start finishing off my desserts. I'm going to hit it with a bit of caramel. So what I found from the Sunday stream is a bit of ganache. So I'm going to try to figure out something to do with this as well. But yeah, so what I'm trying to do, Freshco, yeah, prices are pretty decent. We got Superstore right across the street from us. As long as you kind of get everything kind of as they're on sale or in bulk, you save a bit of money. Yeah, so this ganache, it's a dark chocolate, 78% chocolate ganache, which I think is, to me, it's fire. And just a bit of cream, right? Super easy, right? Super decadent. But in this case, I'm using actually the Superstore brand butterscotch. right? Because this is the stuff that you kind of generally will be putting on. What do you call it? You'd be generally putting this stuff on like ice cream sundaes, right? But what I like for it is like for pastry, because it stays liquidy. It's a little bit gooey. It's sticky. You can kind of sprinkle stuff on top of it. Really finesse it. You know what I mean? Nice. Yo, I'm at 8K. Damn. Yo, thanks for the likes, guys, man. I really appreciate you guys for this. I really do. Thank you so much. Yo, Kels, for sure. Kelkstar. Sorry, I have a hard time pronouncing that. For sure. I got you really used, when me and my homie used to live together, we had this thing where we tried our best to go and try to find, right, I'm just going to give this just a quick drizzle on top. Nothing too crazy. We had this thing where, like, we try to find the city's cheapest spot for ramen noodles. And I'm talking, like, you know, like Ichiban runs, like, maybe for a pack 39 cents with tax. Or at least it used to at that time. Our thing was to find it cheaper. Or if we can get it in bulk and see if we can get it cheaper, then that was more ideal, right? I think we found a type of Asian superstore or a bodega type spot. They were selling ramen noodles at 12 cents. If you bought, I believe if you bought more than 6, they were 12 cents a piece. That means you're still spending less than $1. You're still spending less than $1 and you got to get 6 of them. Like, that's insane. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So what we've always been down with is always going down that rabbit hole of like, hey, where can we find the cheapest veg? Which turns out to be, like, in the summertime, it's always going to be local producers or local farmer producers. Like, you know what I mean? Not the farmer's market, but those homies that are like with the vegetables at the side of the road selling like corn and basic tomatoes and veg. Those guys legit got the cheapest prices. If it's coming direct from the farm, they got the cheapest prices for the amount of volume that you want to buy. Here in Alberta, if we drive from here to some spot in BC, we found a spot that's like farmer style, and they do what do you call it? You can get a bushel of peaches or like a bushel of apples for literally $10. I'm talking like a bushel, like it's like a 15-20 pound box of peaches and apples. I thought that was insane. I'm like, that's a deal and a half, right? We just went ahead, turned that stuff into jam, into marmalades. I used it for a crap ton of baking, right? Use it for coffee tastings, appies, desserts, yeah, you name it. We can turn it into something, right? As well as if those things kind of run out on you, like, you know, you're starting to kind of get up on, like, they're starting to expire, you can always turn them into stuff. But if you have too much right off the hop and you know you ain't going to eat it, you spent $10 on 20 pounds of fruit. I mean, you can afford. Yeah, Cat, absolutely. I think we were near Penticton or Vernon when we found all that stuff. You feel me? And I was like, this is a deal that you just can't pass up. 100%. Yeah, you want to see that drizzle again, Lynn? Boom. Right? Yeah, hopefully you're in for a treat tomorrow. Yeah. But yeah, if you're going to be looking for the cheapest spots, you got to do your research. And incidentally, nowadays, you can literally just go to like, oh, you're born in Surrey? Oh, that's wicked. Yeah, I had a lot of homies that were in Surrey. You can find a lot of spots if you just go to like Reddit. Incidentally, like, I'm old, but like I didn't realize Reddit would eventually become such a, what do you call it? Such a resource. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's insane. Come on, let's get that drizzle. I'm almost done like the jar, so I'm trying to stretch this bad boy out a little bit so it doesn't just run out on me, you know what I mean? Yeah. Truth, yep. 100%. Yo, what's good, everybody? Thank you very much for joining the live. If you guys are new here, I'm usually just in here talking about food, making recipes, talking about cookbooks, all that stuff, talking about chefs, recipes, and ways to adapt them so they're completely accessible, talking about dank food that's cheap. You feel me? And if you guys got questions about food or inquiring about things, you have a recipe that doesn't make any sense to you, by all means, hit me up, man. If I'm not live, you can hit me up in the DMs as well. I'd be happy to answer any questions that you got. I want to be your guy. Sick. Yeah, and if you guys can as well, keep hitting those likes. I really appreciate it. Again, it helps me in the algorithm get found by people like y'all, like-minded people that want to talk about food, want to talk recipes, all that good stuff, all right? Boom. Okay, so yeah, glazed up these with a bit of caramel, all that good stuff. Then I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a bit of the Malden salt. I know what it looks like. Butter be plentiful. Oh, I know. You're from Montreal? Oh man, I love Montreal, dude. So, okay, just before I get on that tangent, right now with the caramel and the chocolate on the go, I'm just going to give it a small sprinkling of salt. Nothing crazy, but it's just enough to actually bring up the savory points of the caramel. That to me is extremely important. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead, switch this bad boy out. Okay. And like literally I just use like a very thick pinch for both trays. Nothing crazy, because you don't want it to be like overwhelming. Like you don't want to eat it and be like, bow. You know what I'm saying? Hey, what's good? Mountain Mama from Nova Scotia. How you doing? Canadian Salt Bay. Ah. Yo, there'd be some Canadians up in here. Hey, I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, life in Alberta is good. You're from Montreal? Joldum, hey, right on, dude. Welcome. Kat, you're from Grand Forks? Wow. Yo, hey, anyone from Alberta? Yo, how is everyone feeling with that weather? Did everyone else get that? Like, because it was like minus 40 the last 4 days. And my God, nothing, like you never thought air could make your face feel like it was on fire. Like that's it's like mint for your face, like spicy hot or spicy cold. Okay, so I got those bad boys done, and I'm just gonna go ahead and finish off with these Skor bar pieces, right? What's awesome here is this acts as like a secondary caramel, and it's awesome. All right, so just so you guys can see it, they're like little pieces. Like, look at this. Isn't that awesome? Like they're little Skor bar crushed up pieces without the chocolate. So I'm gonna go ahead and just dump on a bunch, sprinkle it in. Yeah. Okay. Gonna do a little bit more. You're tired of Montreal? What's wrong with Montreal? I mean, it used to be a food capital, but I know it's still good. The problem, I'm not trying to crap on Montreal neither, because there's some influential chefs that I know from out there, and they're just the best. Windsor, Ontario. Oh yeah, there's something up with the weather. We just like, how do I put it? Yesterday, it was minus 40 in the morning. I'm talking like we took our little girl to daycare on Monday, and it was like minus 40 at the beginning of the day, and like with the wind it was like minus 45. I was like, damn. And then by 3 p.m. it was minus 10 degrees. I've never like I didn't even realize. You look outside, it's the same, but like the difference was massive, dude. And even today we woke up minus 10. So for us it's pretty good for the next 2 days, and then it's gonna spike down to like minus 20, which ain't a big deal. But we might get another couple minus 30 days, and that's pretty much it for the month, I hope. But I mean, let's be real. We still got to, as Canadians, we all know, we still got to make it through February and March. Yeah, I mean, I was raised here my whole life, and to be honest with you, most Canadians are just used to it. But at the same time, I think people are just becoming like more and more like, what do you call it? They go out less, so like, you know, we're just not used to like all that. But it's all good. Mentalities are a little bit different everywhere you are. You know what I mean? Yeah, we get through most of the weather. You know what I'm saying? To be perfectly honest, well, I don't know. You should come through Alberta. But like, I'll be real. As long as you can throw on like 2 hoodies and a jacket, you know what I mean? It's kind of the Canadian, it's like the Canadian outfit that we get. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what I'm talking about then. Throw on a couple shirts and a jacket, you're all right. Edmonton, though, I'll be real. You guys are farther north. Boy, it gets crisp. It gets crisp. All right, so I'm just going to go ahead and do a quick plating on, what do you call it? I'm going to wash my hands real quick. Okay, I'm just going to do a quick plating on that chicken. I'm going to do a quick plating on that. Yeah, the 2 taxes is kind of nuts. Not here in Alberta. We pay the 1 tax, but we pay for it in other ways. You know what I'm saying? Kind of nuts. Oh, man, yeah. You always get used to the layers. The layers are crazy. I feel like the countryside would be like fire. You know what I mean? Like, you know those people that live out like near Canmore? Near the mountains? I know, it's majestic, bro. Yeah, fire. Yo, what's going on, everybody that's new? Welcome. I appreciate you guys for joining us. Today I just made fried rice, bacon, edamame beans, corn. Yeah, hit with seasoning, so it's your soy sauce, your chicken stock, black sesame oil. I made chicken char siu thighs. Boom. Right, so those are roasted, and I got chocolate and caramel with a little bit of Malden salt and some Skor bar pieces on top. Yeah, so I'm going to plate up a little bit of the fried rice and chicken. Actually, you know what? I'm actually going to do this. Yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and plate up that. And what I like to do with all my stuff that I cook on my lives is that if you guys want to get a closer look at the food, I'm going to be just taking a small little hit of video and some pictures. I'm going to be posting it onto my TikTok Reels as well as my Instagram stuff as well. So if you guys want to actually see it in better light, all that stuff, by all means, roll through there and, you know, follow the page. I'd appreciate it. I'm just trying to get myself up past the 1,000 followers mark over time. And again, also, if you guys got anybody that would dig this kind of content, yo, hit them with an invite and a share. By all means, I'd love for you guys to join me on this. Okay, so gonna do a base of the fried rice. Bam. All right. So then any of like the broken parts, I'm just gonna go ahead and throw on the bottom, because again, you want to just kind of put the most presentable parts on top. In this case, because again, it's chicken thighs. They shrink when they roast, all that stuff. Okay. Gonna separate it from the bone. Again, you can also take it off the bone. The reason I didn't is because A, I'm kind of lazy today, and B, I actually like the amount of flavor that comes from the bone. Especially, you know, when you roast it and you sear it in the pan, it releases a lot of the excess chicken flavorings. So any of the ground stuff right here, boom, right? Just gonna cut these. In half. Right, just lay those. That. Okay, just like that. Bam. And this guy right here. Bam. It's kind of needing a little bit of something. So, you know what? You know what I'm missing? Hey, I need some color. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm gonna wash my knife real quick so it's not sticky. Okay. Yo, chicken broth for sure, right? Actually, instead of parsley, cat, I got a little bit of these green onions, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and chop up just a little bit of green onion, right? Nice and fine, as well as fine as you want to. It doesn't matter. I find the thinner green onions are really good for visuals, but at the same time, they don't look as good as I'd like them to, or they don't taste as good as I want them to, because they're so thin that they just kind of dissipate on the plate, right? Right, a little bit of green onion. Where did I put you? Where did I put you? I think usually I had some sesames. In this case, hey, Anastasia, well, how's it going out there from Saskatchewan? Welcome, I appreciate it. Okay, so I got a little bit of the green onion, boom, right on top of this guy, right? And then I couldn't find any sesame seeds in my thing because I think I used them all. I got actually crushed peanuts, which I think will add a nice little extra depth of flavor and crunch, right? So these are roasted peanuts that I had. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, you know what? It's missing. Where did I put you? Where did I put you? That's the hoisin right there. No, I left it out. That's it. All right. Yeah, and I almost missed. So I always like adding just a hit of heat as much as humanly possible. For that, I actually use a little bit of the Chu Chow style chili oil with chili crisp, right? And what this is going to do is that it has a firm amount of oil in it, which is fantastic, but it has the chili flakes in it that are not necessarily super spicy, but they're crispy. It's going to add another extra bit of crisp to the equation, but the smokiness of the chili oil itself is what's going to give it a little bit more spice, like rolling spicy heat, as well as adds just like a touch of extra salt, right? Nothing too crazy. So you only need like just a little bit, right? Drizzle that on top, right? A couple splashes here and there. That's it. Okay, so today I made the char siu glazed chicken thighs, right? With fried rice, bacon, eggs, edamame, sweet corn, topped and finished with a little bit of green onion, roasted pineapples, or not roasted pineapple, roasted peanuts, you know what I'm saying? And finished with just a little bit of the Chu Chow style chili oil. So there's the entree, and then let's get on to a little bit of dessert action. Okay, and as I'm plating, just a reminder, guys, if you guys want to see the plates up close and a little bit, like you want to see more of it, yo, be sure to follow my Instagram and my TikTok, by all means, just to see the plates, because I'm going to be taking photos, and I'm going to be taking a video of them, just so I have something on my reel, so you guys can follow up with the what you saw on the live today, all right? And again, as a nice reminder, I am going to now be streaming same time every time that I'm on live on Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday for roughly about an hour to 2 hours, depending on what I'm cooking. And I'm always going to be cooking some type of food, or I'm going to be sitting down talking to you guys about food, recipes, chefs, cookbooks, and doing reviews like that, okay? So I appreciate y'all for coming out. Let's do a quick dessert, and then I'm pretty much just going to be logging off. Okay, so we have here the fresh ganache that I made on Sunday. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to catch a quick little hit of that on the plate. Right, so you put a dab of that right there, right, and just give it a quick smear right across, okay? Let's go with, it's a nice one, this guy right here. Nice. Okay. And again, that's what the pastry should look like. Nice, puffy, right? Again, that's why I love this brand. It has a lot of volume. Okay. And again, with the Skor pieces. Let's get that. All right, a little bit of Skor pieces, and that's it. Super easy. You can add whipped cream. I don't have any right now, so I would actually put like a hit of just a little bit of whip to kind of break it up. But that's pretty much it. We got your entree, boom. We got your dessert, boom. So again, thank you guys a lot for joining us today. I really appreciate it. Yo, some fresh strawberry, fresh fruit in general. Actually, you know what? I'll be right back. Yo, that's a good call. That's a good call. I appreciate that call, cause I'll wash off my knife real quick. All right, so I got some half strawberries that we prepared. So let's just go ahead and give that just a touch of color. Boom. Just gonna give it a quick fan, just like that. Like that. Yeah, so dessert, entree, they're both going to my wife. And yeah, so I'm gonna call it here. Thank you guys so much for joining me. I really appreciate you guys joining me on this live. Again, if you like what I do, man, please hit that like. It helps my algorithm, help me find people like yourselves, people that are interested in food, love cooking, love talking about food as well. And you know, if you like what I do as well, hit me up on my TikTok page, and be sure to like hit the subscribe and follow button. I'd appreciate it. But yeah, anyways, thank you guys so much. I'll see you all on Thursday when I jump back on. I don't know what I'm going to do necessarily, but I'll see you guys then, all right? If you guys have any suggestions and things like that for future ideas, yo, hit me in the DMs. I'll be more than happy to accommodate, all right? So everybody have a great night. Thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate y'all. Love.